be some painting and drawing. Art club, there's gonna be some painting and drawing. Some of the time we might do drawing and painting, but most of the time we will do painting and drawing.
Grab a pencil, grab a brush, we're about to do
Art club!
Of course, it's not really Jurgen Klopp. It's me, Olaf Falafel, and you're here for another episode of Art Club. First of all, thank you so much to everybody who watched the last episode. Special thank you to everybody who sent in their pictures and drawings. They were absolutely fantastic. There were so many great sloths on skateboards, so many brilliant Matisses. Absolutely brilliant. Actually, talking of sloth on a skateboard, I ran a competition to win my one from last week, and the winner of this signed artwork is going to come up here somewhere. Have a look in the description to this video of what to do. Now, I did have a lot of people say to me how much they loved the bouncing bum animation, so for that reason, today's going to be a special episode. It's going to be 30 minutes just of the bouncing bum. Take it away. Of course I'm joking, no! We're going to have a regular art club. There's going to be loads of fun stuff. Let's get going.
Grab a pencil, grab a brush, we're about to do
Art club!
You may remember that last week when we drew our sloth on a skateboard, we did it in two parts. We're going to do the same thing again today. Now the first thing we're going to do is a cityscape. What you will need is an A4 sheet of paper and something to draw with. It can be anything. It can be a pencil, a coloured pencil, a pen, a squirrel dipped in Marmite, whatever you want, whatever you can get your hands on. I'm going to use this trusty big marker pen. Now, the first thing we need you to do, get your piece of paper upright in portrait mode and draw a line along the bottom of your page. Try and make it as straight as possible. Doesn't matter if it's not. And we're going to do our cityscape just using the lower part of our piece of paper. Now we're going to draw some rectangles. So just randomly draw some rectangles wherever you like. Try and keep the lines quite straight. A good tip for keeping lines straight is to breathe in, then draw your lines, and then breathe out. It just seems to make your hand a bit steadier. Here we go, I'll show you. There you go, that wasn't too bad. And just keep filling up your page with rectangles. And you can do a few different buildings towards the back. I'm going to draw one here that has a point at the top. And we could perhaps draw another one that has a bit of a dome, so a rounded top, like that. Come down there. And, oh, I know, I can draw this one. It's a bit like a building in London called the Gherkin, but you can draw any kinds of buildings from wherever you happen to live. Draw a couple more. So once you've drawn your building shapes, now you need to start adding some windows and other lines to add a bit more detail to your cityscape. You can take your time over this, but because I've got a lot to pack in, I'm going to fast forward this bit. and finish off with a few aerials and satellite dishes, and we're done. that's your finished cityscape, but it's only the first part of the drawing. So in the second part, at the end of this program, we're going to be drawing a giant robot stepping over all of your buildings. So make sure you come back at the end for that.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl in the bathroom? Because it has a silent P. And that joke has come from Dawn Pardo on Twitter.
Well, I thought that was a brilliant joke. Now, what we're going to do next is something that I used to love doing when I was a child. I used to like making pop-ups. We're going to make a simple pop-up card. What you'll need for this is a sheet of card. You can use paper, but it'll just be a bit flimsier. I'm using an A4 sheet of card. Let's get on with it. I'll show you what I'll do. First of all, I need you to fold it in half, like this. And then once you've done that, open it up and then fold it in half the other way. So now it should be nice and long. Make the folds quite tight by running your fingernail along the back. Now what you need to do is make 2 cuts. Now I'm going to mark where I'm going to cut. I'm going to mark the cuts and I want them to kind of be in the center of this section here, like 2.5 centimeters. Doesn't have to be exact there. And the other one, same size, about there. Now what we're going to do, with it still folded and on this edge, we're going to cut along the line. So one there, and one there. Now what we need to do is just fold that back and then turn it over and fold it back the other way and then put it back in place. Then we open it up, we fold it in half this way and hopefully you should be able to get it to do that. And that's pretty much it. So you've got a card shape here and then when you open it up, you can have something stuck on here that will pop up. Now, I'm going to do an example for you. I need another sheet of card here for this. I'm going to do a rainbow to stick on mine. Now, a rainbow it's a semicircle shape. So to do that, if I get a mug here and I can trace around this mug, trace around half of the mug. Oh. Put my mug back away and we'll do a straight line. So from there to there. And we're going to cut out and use that bit there for our rainbow. Now I'm going to make this into a rainbow. It's quite tricky to remember the colours of the rainbow, but I've got something that I say whenever I can't remember. It goes like this. Mom! What are the colours of the rainbow?
Colours of the rainbow? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet.
Thanks! See, it works every time. There we go, our rainbow. Now all you need to do is to stick this rainbow to this side here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this part here, this little rectangle bit here. Make sure I've got a lot of that. And then line it up and give it a good press down. And then hopefully, when you close it and open it, it'll pop up. All you need to do now is write a little message on the front of your card. For example, and there you have it, your very own pop-up card. Now you don't have to do a rainbow, you can do whatever you want popping up. Here's one that I made a little bit earlier. It says, I love you from the heart of my bottom.
And there you go.
Some simple pop-up cards.
What do you get if you cross a shark and a cow? I haven't got a clue, but I would hate to milk it. And that joke has come from Hanky Jr.
hope you enjoyed that. Right, what we're going to do now is learn about a famous artist called René Magritte.
1 minute artist, René Magritte. René Magritte was a Belgian artist. Other famous Belgians include Kevin De Bruyne, Tintin and Waffles. Magritte was considered a surrealist artist, which means weird, strange and unexpected. He used to like to create artworks that would combine two things that don't necessarily normally go together, like eyes and skies, or fireplaces with trains coming out of them. Magritte put his artistic skills to good use during the Second World War as he forged banknotes to help him survive in German-occupied Belgium. A recurring theme in a lot of Magritte's paintings are men in bowler hats and boring suits. In this painting, he's got them falling from the sky like rain. And in this painting, you can't see the man's face because in front of it, he's painted a big green shiny apple. Probably one of his most famous paintings is called The Treachery of Images. In it, he has painted a picture of a pipe and underneath he has written the words, "This is not a pipe." Strange. And that is René Magritte in a minute.
That was pretty interesting, and I'm really sorry, but also ever so slightly educational. I really like René Magritte because he is a surrealist artist. The word surreal means weird or strange or unusual or unexpected, and I really like when you get two things that don't necessarily go together in the same thing. It's quite weird, which I find quite funny. Quite often in a lot of my comedy, I'll do things that can be considered a little bit surreal. For example, this, where I'm messing around with a tripod. Right, what I thought we'd do is take one of Magritte's more famous paintings called The Son of Man and do our own version of it. You might remember it's the one where there's a man in quite a boring suit and a bowler hat, and in front of his face is a big green apple. What we need for this is a sheet of paper. I've got A4. I've actually got a bit of an A4 card because I'm going to be doing a bit of painting on it. And I'll show you how we start. First of all, I'm going to be using one of these little crayons here, and they're actually crayons that, I don't know if you can see, it's got a paintbrush on there. You can wet them and they almost act like paints. And we're going to be drawing a grey old suit. So first of all, we do a bit of a V shape like so. And this is going to be kind of where his shirt is. And we'll do a line that goes all the way down to the bottom from there. And here, we'll curve this down. We'll do the same on this side. We'll curve it, try and mirror this side all the way down. It doesn't matter again if yours isn't exactly like mine. Now we're going to do the lapel on his suit, which is this kind of shape. And we'll do that on the other side too. Now next we'll do a curved line here. And we'll do his shirt, which is one line like such, and another line like. This guy has got a red tie, so let me get a red bit there, and a red bit there. And we'll do the arm bits here, so one arm there and one arm there. Now with these, what I can do is just a little bit of light shading. And then I'm going to add some water to this later. If you don't have these kinds of pencils, you can use ordinary colouring in pencils, or you can use paints, whatever you like really, as long as he looks kind of grey and dull, boring suit. Just a bit more. Might speed this bit up. Now his face, let me do his face. His face, we actually won't be able to see his face. We've got to do that bowler hat on top. So we'll do, oh, that's a massive bowler hat I've done here. And again, add a bit of shading. we'll give him 2 ears. Colour in his face. Colour in his face a bit. And I'm going to add a bit of sky. He actually did quite gloomy sky, so I'll put a little bit of black in. Not too much. You'll see when I do my painting, this hopefully will look a little bit better. And then I'll add some of my blue. More blue. I could add, what else have I got here? I've got a darker blue here. I could add a little bit of darker blue. And now what I'm going to do, I've got a little bit of water and a paintbrush. I'll leave that just there. Gently, I'm going to start with my sky. Let's use a bit of the brush. Wipe off. Don't get it too wet, otherwise your paper will wrinkle right up. And we'll just make our gloomy sky. Now in Magritte's painting, he had a big green apple in front of his man's face. I am going to set a challenge for you guys. I want you to put in front of your person's face the most unexpected, silliest, funniest thing you can think of. Now, I've got an idea. What I'm going to do is a yellow rubber duck that you would get in the bath. I think that could be quite funny. So I've got some yellow paper here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw the outline of my rubber duck, if I can find my pencil. Ah, there it is. And let's get it kind of the right size. So my rubber duck is going to be facing forward, and his head's going to look sort of like that, and his body is kind of going to go out like this. If you've ever seen a rubber duck that you get in the bath, you know what I mean. Now what I will do is cut this out. If you're going to be cutting out, make sure you've got some grown-ups with you. Don't want to be responsible for any cutting out related injuries. Just cut that out. Now the good thing with cutting this out, you can see I'm not going over the lines very well, but that doesn't matter, because what I'm going to do with this one, once I cut it out, is turn it over and you can't see the pencil lines. It's quite good. So the beak is going to come around here, and it's going to go up there. And I'm going to do a bit of shading, and I'm going to use this pencil here, just around one edge of my duck to make him look a bit more rounded. I do a bit of a slightly darker than the yellow paper, this crayon. I'll give the wing shape as well. So there's one wing there, and there's one wing there. Shading. Now he needs 2 eyes, so I'm going to use some white paper for that. I'm just going to use this bit of white paper that I've been leaning on, and I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to draw one of the eyes, so I want them kind of that size. Because I fold it in half, I only need to cut one out, and I should get 2 pretty much the same size. Again, get a grown-up to help if this is a bit fiddly. And again, it doesn't matter if you're not cutting around exactly. Let's see if they work. Oh, perfect. So what I'm going to do, use a glue stick, get the lid off, come on, and just glue one eye there, and the my felt tip pens. Use this one here just to make the mouth look like it's open. And perhaps add a bit of that red. And then I'm going to use this black pen to make the eyeballs. And now I'm ready to stick my little yellow duck on top of my boring old man. So just put a bit of that on the back there and stick him down there. And there we go. Your very own Magritte inspired surreal picture. It doesn't have to be a rubber duck. You can do whatever you like in front of your person's face. It would be great to see all of yours and see what very silly things you put in front of your faces. Please do get your mums and dads to share them with me.
I was wondering why the baseball kept getting bigger and bigger. And then it hit me. And that joke has come from Logan, age 7. Hello, Logan.
Right, next up we're going to do something really quick and easy. I like to call it non-social distancing slime. You know how we're all supposed to be keeping 2 meters apart from everyone? Well, we're going to be drawing some little slime blobs that just don't follow the rules. Here we go. First of all, you'll need a sheet of paper and something to draw with. I'm going to use my pencil. Do you remember? It was the clicky one that sounds a bit like a dolphin. Really simple this. All you need to do is draw a wiggly line and just keep going. You can do as much of a wiggly line as you like. All you need to do is cross over a few times and make sure you end up where you started. So I'm going to end up right about there. Now all you need to do, in each of those little shapes you've made, draw 2 eyes and a mouth. There we go. Now we're going to start colouring them in. Some of those shapes that you've made might have been a bit too small to put eyes in, but don't worry, we'll colour them in anyway. I'm going to be using my coloured pencils. I'm going to press fast forward. And there you have it, some lovely, colourful, non-social distancing slime.
Grab a pencil, grab a brush, we're about to do
Art Club!
So do you remember our cityscapes from earlier on in the show? Well, now we're going to be doing the second part of that. It's going to be a giant robot stepping over all of the buildings. Now, this is a bit tricky. You may want to use a pencil and then go over it in pen when you're confident that it's okay. Or you can, if you're an experienced art master like me, you can jump straight in using a pen. Now, the first thing we're going to do is a rectangle that is tilted to one side. So it's going to look a little bit like this. And that's going to be the robot's body. Now on the side of this, we need to draw an oval shape, like so. And then another one here, just like that. And we're going to draw the leg coming down, curving back like so. And we're going to draw a slight edge to that circle. And we're going to do the same with this circle, we'll draw a slight edge. And we're going to extend the rectangle back to about there. And we're going to draw a line that follows this line here, goes all the way down there. So the next thing we're going to do is the robot's foot at the front here. We're going to have it starting about there. And this is another skewed rectangle shape. And we're going to put a slight edge to it. So what we're going to do, we're going to extend that line there, a little line there, a little line there. And we're going to join those up like so. And that is a robot's foot. Now this robot leg is going to bend there and there, and then follow it along we're going to draw the robot's arm next. And that goes to about there and about there. The robot's going to have a clenched back hand, so quite tricky to draw hands. Draw a curved line and we draw 4 little bumps. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we draw a curve from here around to about there. And then we join there. And then we do a little T shape, just like so. And that gives you a clenched hand. Now the front arm is going to be waving. So we'll draw the arm up there and there. Let's extend it up just a little bit there. And this hand, it's going to be waving. So we'll start with the thumb. We'll curve it round. Curve it round there. And the thumb goes a bit like so. And then we'll draw 4 fingers. So 1, 2, 3. Make the 4th one slightly smaller. Next, we're going to draw the head. So the head is another rectangle like this one, but slightly smaller and on top. So around about here. And we'll extend that line, and we'll extend that line there. But here, rather than drawing one of these ovals, well, we'll start to draw the oval, but we'll make it rounded. This is going to be like the robot's headset. And we'll do that on the other side, so we're just poking out, a little curve just poking out there. And we'll draw this line behind it, and there. And out of this headset, we'll draw a line going up with a circle on top. And we'll do the same there, just a circle. We're going to connect the head to the body with the neck. Just goes there and there. Now, we're going to do some details, so you might want to use a smaller pen. I've got this one here, a slightly smaller brush pen. And you can customize your robot in all sorts of ways. You can add buttons and kind of vents and panels. You can make him happy, you can make him an angry monster, you can make him a sinister monster who's smiling. I think mine's going to be sinister, he's going to be smiling, but he's going to be a bit evil. So I'll draw the face first, I'll draw a smile, give it a bit of width, like so. And I'll draw one eye there, one eye there. I think I'll give him some downward eyebrows to make him look a bit 1, 2, and oh, one thing I'd nearly forgotten, on all of the arms and all of the legs, draw like stripes that go around, little curved lines like this. And then finish off with some vents and some buttons. I'm going to draw a little video screen on his body, so like a curved rectangle. And then inside that curved rectangle, like another little rectangle. And that's going to be a video screen. And then I'll draw some buttons underneath. A couple of buttons there, perhaps another little vent, another vent over here, and perhaps a little row of rectangular or square buttons. There we go. Oh, I'll draw a little tread underneath his foot, so his foot's got like a grip. And we'll draw some little action lines. So it looks like he's just about to step. On his video screen, if you've drawn a video screen, what you can do is pop in your favorite emoji in the middle of his video screen. I'm gonna do, well, I've always liked the poop emoji, so I'm gonna do that. There we go. Now all you need to do is colour it in, and it's at this point I like to go into fast forward. Hit it. Right, before I draw the sky, I'm going to put a speech bubble and some words inside and have my robot saying something. You can do the same at home. It would be great to see all your different words coming out of your robot mouths. I think because mine's evil, he's going to be saying, I'm gonna squish you. And there you go, your finished cityscape and giant robot picture. I'm gonna squish you. It would be great to see your own robot pictures, so please get your mums and dads to post them to my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All of the links should be in the description below this video. Yeah, and it'd be great to see what your robots are saying as well. Now, if you would like to win this signed copy of my robot over the giant cityscape, all you need to do in the comments below, type the special code phrase, "Oh poop, it's a giant robot." And I'll be picking one winner at random and you'll find out who it is next week. Unfortunately, that is the end of another art club. Aww. But don't worry, because there'll be a totally new episode coming along next Monday at 11 a.m. So make sure you tune in for that. All I'm going to ask from you is if you could click subscribe if you haven't already, and please do share this with lots of other people. It'd be great to have loads of people watching next Monday. I'm no mathematician, but if every single one of you shared this with at least 5 other people, then... Like I say, I'm no mathematician, but I'm pretty sure that would be a good thing. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please do get your mums and dads to share all of your wonderful artworks with me. You can post them to my social medias, which are all below here in the description. It was really great seeing all of your pictures last week. Also, if you've got great jokes, make sure you put those in the comments below. And who knows, your joke could be read out next week. I think that's all I've got to say. I'm going to say bye. Do you remember last week I had all of those flowers thrown at me when I said bye? We're not going to do that again, don't worry. So, unfortunately, that's the end of this Art Club episode. But we've had fun. Bye! I said no! I said no flowers!